went into Aesop to get Kieran a little Valentine's Day treat, right? I smelled this fragrance. They said there was magnolia flower in it, and I love magnolia flower. My dad was born in Magnolia, and I just love the name and the word and the scent and all of that. And so I was like automatically intrigued. So I needed to smell it, and I smelled it, and I was like, whoa, that's one of the most delicious smells I've ever smelled. I bought like little hand cream and soap, which was a treat. They had run out of the samples. They were like, we're just gonna spray your bag like a ton with it. So they sprayed my bag a ton with it, and I was like, I really want Kieran to smell it. So he was like smelling the bag of his gift, and he was like, whoa, like I love the smell too. So a few days passed, I'm like still smelling the bag. I'm like obsessed with it. This retails for $200. Pricey, but not horrible for a fragrance that like one spray does the trick, and that I'm going to use very tastefully. I'm also in need of a new signature scent. This is not an ad. I couldn't stop thinking about it, couldn't stop smelling the bag. So Kieran and I went back this morning to smell it again, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. It's the best smelling qualities of both fall and spring together. A musky kind of like sandalwood scent to this, and then there's also like a very floral side of it. And I'm not a big floral scent person, but it's just something about the scent I couldn't get out of my head, and that's never happened to me before. And I feel like the scent found me, and I didn't really seek her out, and I wanted to share that. I don't know, I had never really like gone into an Aesop. I just know that my Uncle Dave really loves Aesop, and me and my brother went with him. I don't know, I've affiliated a lot with like men. I don't know, like I was like, okay, that's like men's soap, like rich men's soap. I don't know, but it's my tea now. I love it, and I don't even think I've said the name of the scent. It's Aesop's Arner, I think is how you say it. I think they just came out with it. I love it so much. 2025 new scent. Before we get into our little Sunday sit down chats, I wanted to tell you about this curl cream because a few videos ago, my hairstyling video, I was saying I was kind of on like a curl routine journey to find like a good curl to fine cream, just more products that I love. And one of you guys commented that you use this. I'm gonna put the comment here. I saw such amazing reviews. The smell too was described really like clean, and you guys know I bought that other curl cream that smells like, what was it, lemon cake, and I was a little bit like, I don't know if that's my vibe. I purchased it. It's a really great price point too. I think it was like maybe $12. I've been loving it. It's described as an air dry styler. That's for straight, wavy, curly, fine, medium hair. Obviously it's rained today. I've slept on these curls. I just kind of sprayed it with water and then added a little bit more. But my hair, fresh out the shower, after I use this, after I diffuse, my natural hair has never looked better. And I really think it's thanks to this product. And I love that it's an air dry styler. I feel like that's very convenient, even though I still diffused my hair when I put it in, but I love this. These are the two new faves of the moment that I wanted to mention just for fun. But I had asked you guys on Instagram for some questions, some catch-up questions. I feel like we haven't chatted in a bit, and last week's video was such a hefty one for me to edit and get out. I was gonna do it in 2 parts, but I just feel like it's like a kind of silly thing to draw out in a 2-part way. I just felt so dramatic doing that. So I was like, we're just gonna all put it out. I hope you enjoy it, even though like my watch time duration is like 12 minutes. But I hope some of you guys watched the whole thing. If not, it's totally fine. I'm proud of that video, and it was a lot of work, so it was a lot of footage and a lot to edit. So that was a hefty one. So I wanted to do something a bit more casual this week. It's just getting back to a lot of like my personal work stuff that I've had to like put off because obviously the show was a huge priority of mine for the past like 3 months. So it's been nice getting back to the swing of things, but this week just flew, and it was really hard for me to find time and a good concept that I could dedicate the time to, that I loved and would be proud of to make for this Monday. I did have a little meltdown of just, you know, wanting to make content that I love and that I'm proud of, but finding the time each week to dedicate to do something different and that's interesting. And then I also felt like a lot of the emotions and things that I was like thinking and going through, you guys could obviously relate to, and I was like, maybe we'll talk about it. I would love to make a living off of YouTube, but that's just not the reality of it right now. So I have to work in addition to doing this, and a lot of times that overlaps, but a lot of the time it doesn't. So it's unrealistic for me to expect each week I have all this time to dedicate to a different video. So I just need to be a little bit more gentle with myself, which I feel like all of us need to be doing. I asked you guys to ask me some questions on my IG story. I'll put my Instagram here. That's where I'll do any kind of those interactive questions and polls and things like that. It's kind of beautiful. A lot of your guys' questions very much align with how I'm feeling and a lot of the things that were causing me distress, if you will, last night, and stuff out of my control. I was feeling overwhelmed, whatever it was. Without further ado, let's get into the cues because you guys asked amazing questions. Per usual, 2 questions that really stuck out to me and just have a lot to do with things that have been compromising my mind. One was, do you struggle with comparison in the NYC fashion / influencer scene? And then the other one, do you have moments when you compare your career to others? Comparison is really the bane of my existence. Like, it's truly, I find comparison to be so incredibly crippling and honestly never motivating. It never helps in any kind of way. I could see somebody maybe being like, oh, look, it lights a fire under your ass, or like it's, you know, you're inspired by these people, so like comparison is good. Like, I just don't ever see the good in it, at least in my life. The way it affects me right now never leads to anything good. Doesn't make me feel good. I think the biggest thing when those feelings start to come about is just trying to identify them ASAP and just like nip it in the bud before it gets anywhere more extreme and it starts to upset you anymore. I think this time, especially when Fashion Week comes around, and I think it's both in the influencer space but also in my career as well, where like the two intersect a lot. Obviously, I have a job within the fashion industry in my career as a stylist, and then apart from that, I'm also doing, you know, brand partnerships and influencing and things like that. So to balance the two and give both the same kind of love and care to keep me satisfied in both areas and think like I'm doing enough here, I'm doing enough here, things like that. I think Fashion Week is kind of a perfect storm for me because I want to be styling runway shows. That is my dream, and that's so fulfilling for me and for my art. When I'm styling a show, that takes really all of me, and I try to do events and things like that where I'm also feeding my own personal career and creative, you know, outlet where I'm styling myself and I'm going to events and I'm making personal connections with brands. But like, I'm styling multiple shows, I'm not really that kind of like influencer creative person. So like, one kind of has to give in so many situations, and I think with how I am, I'm never like pleased with the outcome, even though it's incredibly hard to do really well and satisfy both at the same time. I have to remind myself that like, I can't do it all. I can't be going to every single event and sitting front row and expect to be invited to all these things while also be able to style a show and do my job the best to my ability if I'm doing all those things. So that definitely got to me, and I was comparing myself to like the influencers and the front rows and all the people that I was seeing at the shows that I've always wanted to go to and be at and whatever. And obviously there's shows that I've always wanted to style and be a part of too that are incredible, but like, you always want what you don't have, etc. But the things that you're like already doing and already a part of, you're already so lucky to be doing those things that to me it's just not worth wasting any time wishing or hoping you were elsewhere or doing other things. Like, you owe it to yourself to give 100% to the things that you're already doing and to the people that already appreciate you and care about you and want you to be at their shows or want you to appreciate their art. Fashion Week for me has turned more into embracing my community, embracing my friends, embracing art, and the shows that I don't get invited to that I'm dreaming of, like, I keep up and I comment, and I ideally haven't had much time to do this, but go on Vogue Runway and go through the looks and the shows, and also shows and designers that I watch for styling tidbits and things like that. Also getting inspiration and seeing what they're doing, just trying to keep up with everything as well. Life is so short, things move so fast. I cannot let myself get caught up in the whole comparison world in either side of it. That was a blabber on moment, but my answer to both those questions, I mean, they were just kind of like, do you, like, it was like a yes or no kind of question. So yes, absolutely, in both scenarios. This question comes at a good time because I feel like Fashion Weeks, those feelings always come up for me. Obviously, there are so many people's careers that I look up to and get inspired by. The way they've carried themselves or, you know, worked and connected with people and hustled, XYZ, really inspire me. That can be a healthy relationship to people and careers, but it's not really comparison. It's more just like, it's aspirational. I look at them and I really respect the work that they've put in and the career that they've created for themselves, and or if it's an influencer, creator, etc., like the brands that they work with. Or like, I always look to Orion when I think of people who take brand collaborations and jobs and ads and like really makes them her own. It's almost like you can't even tell it's an ad sometimes when she's doing things. She really looks at her work and brand collaborations in such an artistic way. When you have a personal brand like that and you care so much about your work and the time and the energy that you're putting in, it's like, that's really the approach that I want to take when it comes to brand collaborations and influencing and things like that. I think she's done an incredible job with it, and I think she's created a space and a following that's incredibly genuine, and people really trust her and like look to her for things that are cool and inspiring and artistic and feel genuine. And I think she has like such an incredible eye and is a tastemaker. I don't find myself comparing myself to her, because it's also very cool to see somebody do something in a way that you're like, that's not 100% how I would do it, but I love the way she did it, and I think that's very cool. I also think comparison often hits me when I feel like I'm so, just like everything I've been doing, everything I've been thinking about, every second of my life, every single day has been spent thinking about the industry or influencing or content or styling or the whatever, and I just need to take time to be like sucked out of it a little bit. Having friends and people in my life that aren't in the industry or doing other things, or I just need time to take myself out of it. That also is really good for your work, to not always be thinking about whatever it is, whatever you're doing. If you're, you know, an editor or a trend forecaster or whatever, just like not always being so consumed with the media and taking time. Treat yourself, care for yourself, do other things that you're passionate about, create a random hobby, talk to people about something random that takes your mind off things, and then you circle back, you come back to it. It's like when you're working on an essay for like 36 hours in college and you're like, I need to take a step back, and then you revisit it and you kind of have this like clear view, whatever. Same with my Instagram or my YouTube or content brainstorming or a styling deck or a project. If I feel stuck, taking some time away, going on a walk even, is like a way that I can kind of just break that cycle once those feelings start coming in. You want to protect your peace, you want to protect your art and what you're doing. You don't want that negative energy in. I don't want to think of other people in my space in that way. My industry or industries are so wide and expansive, and there's so much room for everybody. Comparison is just, it's a waste of time, because everybody's trying to do their own thing. Be proud of what you're doing, protect your peace, and just be your own biggest fan. The answer is yes, and whatever else I just said, that was a long one. An easier, lighter question is, what camera do you use to make your YouTube vids? I brought all three of my cameras except for the camera that I'm using. This is the third one. Right now I'm filming on a Canon G7X. She's the OG. We know her, we love her. This camera, me and my friend Ellie, we had started a YouTube channel in 2017. If you're an OG, if you remember Ellie and Chloe. But that was our first camera that we used. I think it broke or something, and I bought a new one on Black Friday or whatever it is, but this camera is broken again. I think G7Xs, if I remember correctly, I feel like I've heard other people talk about this too, they do break frequently. Clearly this is like my second one that's broken. The focus is broken, my like little viewfinder is totally like snapped off, so you're taped on. It's just a circus, and it's not really worth the money. I'm not obsessed with the G7X. I don't think I would purchase another one. There has to be other better options that are cheaper. Apparently people use it as like a Digi cam, and the flash is really good. My flash is broken on it, so I don't use it for that. I've used it for photos here and there, but they're not that great. I prefer to use my Digi cam that was $30 from eBay. That's a Nikon Coolpix S6000 if you're curious. So I mainly do like sit down videos and dedicated like styling videos or hairstyle videos, makeup videos, stuff where I'm kind of like stagnant the whole time. I use the Canon G7X for those videos. And then my main vlog camera that I use, because it's wider lens, captures more, it's good with movement, it's small, it's compact, it's lightweight, I can bring it anywhere. It's the Canon PowerShot, I think it's the V10, I believe. Susie, Miss Susie Lola on YouTube, who I love and adore, I'll put her Instagram here. The best. She put me onto this camera. It's amazing. It has a little viewfinder this way, and then has a built-in stand. I'll hold it like that so you can kind of see it. It's so fabulous. I love this camera so much. I do a combination of filming with this camera, and then my handy cam. And this handy cam is the HD handy cam. It's the HDR CX405, but it's a Sony little handy cam. This turns so you can kind of like see yourself, which is really nice. It's again super lightweight. A little Sony Handycam. I use this for BTS on shoots. I use this for shooting content. I use this for shooting YouTube videos. This has come in handy for so many things. It's one of my favorite things, and I bought this also on Black Friday for a really good price. And then I left it at the Bootsy studio when I was full-time there, and a man broke into our studio and stole a bunch of stuff, including my coworker's laptop and my Handycam camera. So that was literally horrible. They reimbursed me and got me a new one, which is incredibly kind. Those are the three that I use, and then iPhone when it really comes down to it. Then someone asked, what are you most proud of, not fashion related, which is a really sweet question. And I think my first thought is just the thought that I'll share. I don't really want to sit on this and think into it too much, although I could. I just wanted this to be like a casual chill chat, so I thought it would be fun to share like my first initial idea when I read this. So my first thought was when I hear from other people that I come off the same in person than how I do in my content and on camera and YouTube and even on Instagram and stuff, with my friends or people that know me watch my videos and say that, or when people who don't know me meet me for the first time and they're like, oh my god, you're just like your videos, or like, I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud that the person I'm putting out online also aligns with who I am and how people who I've known for forever also perceive me. I think it's a really great compliment, and that makes me very happy. So I'm very proud of that. And then kind of going on with this, I don't mean to gas myself. I feel like saying that you're like a good person is such like a thing to say. I talk about this a lot with friends and peers in the industry, is because you often meet people who aren't the kindest or very like considerate. They don't really feel human to you. Things feel very transactional. I just find that I, at the end of the day, am proud of the person that I am and how I treat people. I'm very proud of having empathy and not losing that in an industry where I encounter so many people who are a little rude, disrespectful, inconsiderate. A lot of this comes from my mom and how much I look up to her and how she treats people and how much she cares. The way she raised me, I'm very proud of. That's something that, just being a nice, good person that's still very human, and it sounds very simple, and I think that's what's cool about it, and that's why I wanted to bring it up too, because it's like, if everything were to go away tomorrow, who do you surround yourself with? Like, how do you treat people? And, you know, how do you make them feel when you leave a room, kind of deal, is very important to me. Hope that makes sense. That kind of leads into one of the most meaningful lessons I've learned in the industry, which is a great question. I could go on, but I'll just go with one of them, and that's not to idolize anybody. This is something that I've had to learn the hard way so many times. This industry, you want to give everything to. A new job, you want to give everything to. And I feel like I struggle with putting a lot of meaning onto my job and my career, and almost connecting my identity so much with my work and what I do that it becomes like who I am when I have a job, or like one of my full-time jobs in specific. I had been wanting to work for that company for so long. I felt like I was like fulfilling this dream, and that my identity was then tied with this brand, and I was so proud of that because I loved the brand so much. And then the brand and the people, not like my coworkers, but you know, were really not the people or the brand that I thought that they were. And then all of a sudden I'm tied and put all this energy and work and like effort and meaning on this company that is not what I expected, and again, doesn't deserve to like be tied with me and my career and like something that I've worked so hard on. And I'm like, one, that taught me to like separate work and life and how I think of myself, and then how I think of my career and what I'm doing in my work and the company that I work for, because sometimes you do have to work for a company that you're not thrilled with. Jobs right now, you just kind of have to hustle and get by often, and so there are going to be jobs and people that you work for that you hate and despise, and I need to not tie them so much to like who I am and what I stand for and like whatever. But that really like woke me up, where I was just like, holy shit, I've been following this brand since 2016, 2017, and it's just like flipped the whole thing on its bottom. Like it was horrible. And then, you know, you meet so many people here and there. I'm not gonna say never meet your heroes, because I've met so many people that I love and adore and they're fabulous, but just don't idolize anybody. Don't put them on this pedestal to the place where you give them the power to then tear you down, disappoint you to a point where you feel like your world is ending. Like, nobody should have that power. Back yourself. You have power. Like, you are strong, you are smart. When you're interviewing or meeting people, like, you have a foot to stand on. Like, you have experience, you know what you're doing, because then there is that abuse of power or like dynamic. You're a strong, independent person that has a lot to contribute, and just because maybe the person has more of a following, more experience, you know, is more famous, is this icon is really cool, somebody you looked up to forever, like, that doesn't matter. Back yourself. You are who you are. You have every right to be in that room. You can look up to people, you can do XYZ. I just think idolizing people is, especially like within the industry, tread lightly. That is all I'll say. I'm trying to balance questions with a bit more weight to them, and then a bit more fun, casual ones. But this one asked, do you have any trips planned for the coming year? I don't really have anything planned other than Chicago. I'm going with all my friends from high school to visit a few of our girlfriends who live in Chicago now. We're going for St. Patrick's Day, and I'm very excited. It'll be my first time in Chicago. So I'm super excited to explore the city and be with my people. It'll be really, really fun. I love this question. When we feel the outfit is boring, what do we do? And then also, happy Valentine's Day, love. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you all had a lovely Valentine's Day. I feel like my first thought was hair and makeup. Step away from the outfit if you're feeling like it's boring. Play with hair and makeup, see what that can do, and then revisit the outfit. This is kind of a theme, but stepping away from something when it's causing you like discomfort or frustration or like whatever, doing something else and then coming back to it, it often brings clarity. So what I like to do, because I'm a big head to toe person, H2T as Tyra Banks like to say, if the outfit is lacking, maybe try a hairstyle you saved on Pinterest that you're like obsessed with, or like try something new. Or if you wear your hair down all the time, maybe throw it up. And then makeup is so fun. I love makeup. Sometimes when I don't have a lot of time to get ready or time to pick out an outfit that's like amazing, whatever, super complex, I do something simple for my outfit, and then I say like, I'm gonna do a hair and makeup day. Like, I'm gonna do a face day. And we do like a really fun makeup look that I've been loving. I do, you know, a pastel eye that I'm obsessed with, a really bold lip, whatever it is, a really fun hair look, you know, Helena Bottom Carter updo, the curls are all down. That adds so much to an outfit, and I feel like playing with those components of what is a head to toe look and ensemble is really fun and can inspire additional things. Like if you end up doing a berry lip and like a pastel pink eye, what if you have a little baby pink kitten heel, or like a little bra that peeks out of your tank top that you thought was so simple? Or, you know, you're doing a berry lip, like, okay, oh my God, I have this berry bag that would be really fun to pull out. Try to lean towards hair and makeup, see what you can do with that, and then revisit accessorizing, whatever it is. But I love adding pops of color with my hair and makeup, texture or volume or whatever it is, and then going back to the outfit if you feel like it's too simple or boring or you're not satisfied. I feel like that's a great way to then add something to it and then re-inspire yourself. Head to toe-ifying the look can really help. So that's what we do. The last question I'm going to answer is, how do you keep staying so creative and deal with eventual creative blocks? I love this question, and again, perfect timing, because I feel like that's been happening to me. Again, like I said, these past 3 months I've been solely focused on styling and the Tyler show, so I haven't put a lot of time in styling outfits for YouTube and for content and for Instagram. You know, having the time to go out with friends and put an outfit together that I really love, or whatever it is, just sit with my clothes and get inspired. I haven't had the time to really do that, so I feel like I haven't felt creative with my personal style very much. Obviously I felt good about work and styling. With the creative blocks, I definitely feel like I'm in one right now with outfits and content, and just that consistent Instagram content that's not, you know, a paid gig or a collab with a brand where like they're providing you a piece and you're styling an outfit around that. That's guided. That's, you know, a bit easier because you have something to base it around. But something that's just flat out, I'm in my room and I'm picking out an outfit, that's really stumping me right now. It's because I'm kind of like out of the habit. I haven't done it in a while. What always helps me, and this is just like a go-to rec of mine, is just giving yourself an hour, 2 hours on a weekend or after work one day and turning on music that you love and just playing dress up, trying on things you haven't tried on in a while. If you have like a new piece or two, putting that on and seeing how you would style it, even if you don't have anything to plan an outfit for. That always helps me, and I feel like feeling good in my personal style and having outfits that I'm really excited to wear also just helps fuel my energy for the day. If I put on an outfit that I'm excited to wear, or I style an outfit that I'm really happy with the outcome, I feel more excited about the day, and I feel like that leads into work and feeling creative about, you know, shoots or other products that are coming up, whatever it is. I know that answer is quite specific to like personal style, which this question in particular doesn't really specify what sort of creative block you're going through, but I feel like going back to your personal style, going back to your closet, getting inspired by your pieces, going through screenshots, things that you've, you know, loved in the past. I feel like I never take time to go back into my screenshots and like look at the things that I know I've screenshotted to then circle back to, but I never ended up doing. I feel like I always have good stuff buried in my little screenshots. When I'm in a creative rut, I try to avoid going to Pinterest and stuff. I try to avoid doing that first thing and just try to like first play, but I think Pinterest helps kind of guide those ideas in a way. I do like to go through my saves and boards that I've already made and things that, you know, ideas that I've already had that I kind of maybe forgot about. I think movies and film can be really inspiring, or documentaries on people that are really incredible that you love or maybe want to learn more about. I think that could be really fun and inspirational. Maybe even getting inspired by your old content, stuff that you're proud of, watching an old video, looking at an old shoot that you did, reading an old article that you've written, looking at old photos, components of outfits that you've really liked in the past, or components of shoots that you've loved, or shoots that you've saved, or articles that you've written that you really love the essence of. Just rereading that, one, celebrating the fact that you've done something that you're really proud of, and two, knowing that you can do it again and maybe even do it better. So referencing yourself, getting inspired by yourself and your past work and your archives is also really cool, because it does both give you a boost of confidence, little pat on the back, but then helps you move forward and get on to the next. Journaling can be really helpful, maybe just kind of like digging through your thoughts and feelings right now, where, you know, your creative rut can be linked to an emotional rut or something that you're kind of an insecurity that you haven't really gotten to the center of. Maybe journaling can kind of help that kind of come out, and then once you feel that release, you can go back to your work and be like, I needed that. Whatever it is, there's so many things you can do to help with that block, but I think my first step is definitely just letting myself feel the way I'm feeling. If I need to cry, I need to cry, so be it. In order to build that confidence, I just like to like let it all out, let myself feel sad, go on a walk in a matcha, say I'm gonna let myself feel this way until blank time, and then we're gonna lock in, whatever it is. But I think playing dress up, recentering, going back to things that inspire you and that you love and that make you happy, that all fuels creativity. And calling a friend, calling somebody that, you know, your conversations always kind of light a fire under your ass if you have that, or listening to podcasts of people discussing something that, you know, either totally takes you out of what you need to be thinking about or puts you directly in it. Whatever you need in that moment, it always changes for me. Different things kind of break that block. Try a bunch of stuff, feel what you need to feel, trust your people, lean on people, ask for help if you need it. You'll get there. You know, life ebbs and flows, but when you're down here, it always comes right back up. So trust that it's gonna get better, and trust in your work and in yourself, and know that you've done it before, you can do it again. I can always top it. That's my little spiel. Thank you guys so much for watching and asking these fabulous questions. There were so many good ones. I feel so grateful when you guys ask me these like incredible questions, and I appreciate so much that you like care about my answer. It's very cool. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for spending the morning with me. This was really lovely, very needed. I'm glad I got over the stress of needing to create this crazy action-packed video for you guys. A sit down, chill concept is also very nice, and last week's video was a movie, so, and when I have more time in these next few weeks, I am very excited to get to brainstorming some more YouTube content for you guys, doing more shorts too. I need to get on that. I want to do some more collabs. I want to work on more of my guides. I still have my like flea and vintage market guide for you guys that I've been working on for a bit. Just really flush out some of those ideas that I've been wanting to do. I just want to thank you for being here and for watching and supporting me. It genuinely means so much. I adore you, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!